Good evening. This is CTV News for Thursday, October 18th. I'm Sonia Shrivastava. Great to have you with us. Well, it's day 4 of the high-profile trial involving 2 Prince George's police officers, and questions swirl around the judge and whether she would continue to preside over the case. Judge Beverly Woodard dated and later married a police officer who was involved in a brutality case. Our Denise Douglas has been covering the case and has more from Upper Marlboro.
The judge's personal life took center stage here at the courthouse for much of the day, but despite that issue, both sides decided to continue with the trial. And so the defense called its final witness, James Harrison, who, like his co-defendant, Reginald Baker, said his actions on the night of the Duke, Maryland game back in 2010 were justified. Now, he was grilled by the prosecution on why he initially lied to Internal Affairs about being involved in the alleged beating of John McKenna, but later admitted to it. Harrison said he feared losing his job and even got choked up on the witness stand at one point. So after his testimony, the defense rested its case. Next, both sides will present closing arguments. Now, the prosecution, as we've told you, has argued that officers used excessive force against McKenna as they tried to break up that crowd on Route 1 after the Terps beat the Blue Devils in basketball. Now, their attorneys, the defendants' attorneys, maintain that it was justified, and it will ultimately, though, be up to the jury to make a decision on their guilt or innocence. This trial continues tomorrow. Both officers remain on administrative leave pending the outcome of the trial. I'm Denise Douglas, CTV News.
And regardless of the outcome of the trial, the officers will have to undergo a police department administrative review regarding their future with the agency. Well, a mid-afternoon car crash has reportedly left a county police officer in critical condition. Few details are known at this time, but the authorities say the incident happened at Branch Avenue and Surratt's Road in Clinton around 3 p.m. The officer's cruiser reportedly crashed into a utility pole. The incident occurred sadly today as a department honored late officer Adrian Morris. Morris died in August after his police cruiser ran off I-95 during a police chase. Today, his name was added to a monument of fallen officers during an engraving ceremony. The monument sits inside a courtyard at police headquarters in Palmer Park. The 23-year-old Laurel resident was born in Kingston, Jamaica. He graduated from Eleanor Roosevelt High School in 2007 and became a U.S. citizen in 2009. Before becoming an officer, Morris was a member of the Police Explorers at the District 6 station in Beltsville. And in the past, gambling measures have found little support here in Prince George's, and gaming expansion remains a divisive issue in Maryland, with opponents pointing to the moral and social ills associated with casinos and supporters citing more jobs and revenue. Today, our Rochelle Metzger asked a public policy expert from the University of Maryland how the current economic and political climate could impact the outcome at the ballot box.
The tricky part here is this is not just about greater revenues. This is also an argument about different gaming interests. And as I understand it, there's great ambiguity about how much money comes to the state. So I don't know the answer. That's why there are millions or at least tens of thousands of dollars being spent to obscure the issue on the airwaves. But whatever it is, voters will have to decide what they think is happening and what they will vote for. My guess is, I think cynicism wins this year.
When Maryland voters head to the polls in just under 2 weeks, they will be weighing in on a total of 7 statewide ballot measures, from marriage equality to the DREAM Act to ethics rules for elected officials and a plan for new congressional district boundaries. CTV News will have more in-depth analysis of each of these issues leading up to the election. And a familiar face in Prince George's politics and the business community announces his support for a controversial ballot measure. Former County Executive Wayne Curry is forming a committee of stakeholders who will pound the pavement pushing for passage of Question 7. Curry says the expanded gambling initiative offers historic economic opportunities for Prince George's.
What's going on? When people complain that they're not sure that any money generated from this casino would be spent on education, I simply ask them, well, do you think it's better to keep sending your money to West Virginia, Pennsylvania, and Delaware, where you guarantee that you're not helping your own education, but you're helping their public schools a lot? It strikes me that we got to get down to some common sense considerations here. Far better that we elevate our community and ourselves with this unprecedented opportunity to bring entertainment, to bring upscale shopping, to bring fine dining, to bring all of the things we've claimed for years we want to a location that would literally be among the most desirable, certainly on the Eastern Seaboard, but in many respects in the world, because it.
Now, Curry says the initial startup costs for his group will come from a $500,000 contribution from the Peterson Companies, the developer of National Harbor. Meanwhile, Penn National Gaming, the measure's leading opponent, has given more than $25 million to a committee trying to defeat Question 7. And you're watching CTV News. I'm Sonia Srivastava.